Good evening. This is Catherine Doyle for DCFS Corruption Advocates. Um, I'm just going to give y'all a quick little rundown. 3 years we were foster parents. We had glowing recommendations. Um, Never had any bad reports or anything. The next thing we know, in January of 2022, somebody called in a false report on us. The investigator told me she had to investigate for 30 to 45 days, and then they would close the case. So they investigated. I did everything they asked me to do, and this investigator said, "We want to close your case at this date." That date came, it never closed. 45 days came and never closed. And then she told me and apologized to me, telling me that she was sorry that they've been wanting to close my case, but they couldn't do it because of my home development worker, Gretchen Cormier. She evidently doesn't show up to meetings, or postpones them, or whatever she felt like doing. They kept my case open for 5 months, found nothing, everything was invalid, and then one day they came May 16th of 2022 and snatched both our babies up, threatened us that if we didn't bring the babies to the police department, which, by the way, had I've known, they were saying that these babies were in imminent danger, but they were in my house for 5 months. So how all of a sudden when they want to take them, they're in imminent danger? If they were imminent danger, then why didn't they come to the house and pick the babies up like they were legally able to do if it was imminent danger? She lied to the chief of police, told him that she had the proper paperwork, and he was sitting on our front porch telling her on the phone, "There's nothing wrong with this house or these babies. If there was, then you have the right to come over and get them. We'll come get them." And she argued with him that we had to bring them to the police department. So we did, and they took our babies. So we went and got us an attorney. We went to court. All the allegations that they had were dropped because they didn't have nothing, because we did nothing. I did nothing. And the judge called him a liar. They were talking about my medications, which, by the way, she had a copy of it, certification. And the whole time she was saying, "We're closing your house because at certification, you did not disclose that you were on pain medication," which the judge called a lie because he had all the paperwork from day one. And he said, "I cannot make you reopen her house as a foster home, but I can close y'all's case and give custody to the Doyles." And so he said, "That is my ruling, and that's what I'm doing." And he looked at me and he said, "I'm sorry, Ms. Doyle." He said, "But I don't have jurisdiction over the baby girl. You'll have to go to Acadia Parish." And so when I did try to get a court hearing, the judge would not listen to me. He wouldn't hear nothing I had to say. He told me I was not blood related. But I wasn't blood related, but we were in adoption with these babies. We done signed papers to go to adoption. And he's sitting there telling me I can't have a hearing because I'm not blood related. But I was okay to have the baby from birth, love the babies from birth, raise them till they snatched them up away from us. And then the judge gives us back one, but we're not okay to have the other one. There's something fishy going on with that, y'all. These babies were happy and loved, and I'm not going to quit. They can hang it up. I will be on here if I'm 90 years old. I will be telling people about what they did. They are ruthless. They do not care about the welfare of these children at all. None. This woman, I have to pray for her. God says we got to pray for our enemies. But I'm going to tell you, she has the coldest heart you've ever seen. I have put a video of the day that they took these babies. She has no heart. If she can sit there and bold-faced lie and tell my husband to divorce me to keep his house open, divorce me. And I didn't do anything wrong. So he told her no, he wasn't divorcing me, and that I did nothing wrong, and he wanted to know how we could get our kids back. He said, "Can we adopt them privately?" She said yes in front of witnesses. So you tell me how we're supposed to be such bad parents that we can adopt them privately, but we can't adopt them as foster parents? Come on now, there is something really bad wrong with that. And she, she's so smug. She thinks she has got away with all this stuff, and she has not. She thinks she has. I really want her job because I'm afraid. You know what? She's done this to somebody else, and I can tell you, I can't tell you who it was because this person doesn't want to be involved. Because she has a reason not to be involved now. She don't want no trouble with DCFS, and that's what they do. They put fear into your heart, or try to put fear in your heart, so that they can do whatever they want to do under color of law. Well, I know my rights, and I know what's going on, and I'm not going to sit still and let this go on. So, me and some friends of mine on my page are starting a fundraiser for legal fees for those of you that have valid legal cases that you do not have the finances to pay for. And so, if you're a member of my page and you need legal help and your case is valid and we can prove that, when we have the funds, we will take names and numbers and cases and find out, which ones we can get to fastest. I want to say if, it just happened and you got a little bit of time, then you probably won't be the first ones we do. But the ones that we do, we will do first is the ones that are like emergency. Like mine, right now, 6 months to 18 months, they can adopt my baby girl out. That they can try and adopt her out. I'm sorry, I had to take a break for a minute. I can't imagine them doing that because I love my baby. And what they did was cruel. What they did was heartless. And they do not care about these children. All they care about is the almighty dollar. All they care about is getting their part of the money. It's a fact. They get money for every child they take out of a home. And the people that they attack more are the ones that can't afford an attorney. So we're going to start trying to fix that. And hopefully these people out here that care about these children won't mind donating or contributing in some kind of way. Because somebody's got to step up for these kids and for these families. What about these mamas? Look, that baby might not be my blood, but I got a relationship with that baby's mama in there. And let me tell you, I don't believe in not allowing them to be in contact with their family, of blood family, unless they are an imminent danger to that child. And so far, I haven't had any problem with that. Matter of fact, my little boy's mama, I love her to death. She went through a rough time. She did try to do her plan, but she told me some things. Now and I'm sorry, Skylar. But they tell you things and you don't know what to believe till you get to know somebody. And I've gotten to know her, and let me tell you, I love her to death. And she's a part of this family. And baby girl's mom and daddy, I opened my house. They could come anytime they wanted, as long as they were clean. I had no problem with it. And so, get back to the program here. The money is out there, and somebody is going to help. I know it. This is long coming. These mamas and some of these daddies that have tried hard to straighten their lives up. That's what this program's all about. It's about reunification. It's about getting these babies back with their families. And if they can't, that they have a loving, safe foster home. Not one that I've seen, I've seen a bunch, y'all, on TV where they've left these babies in homes and that have overdosed on the drugs that their parents have laid around the house, or have been sexually molested or raped. It's just ridiculous. And you know what the harsh thing about it, the truth is, if these little girls and little boys have been messed with in these foster homes, they move them away to different homes and adopt them out so that the real parents won't ever be able to find out what happened to their children. And these are not things I'm telling you because I'm thinking them up. I've been told these things, and some of these things have been proven. And it's really sad because, the people over DCFS in Baton Rouge, If they know that this is going on, shame on them. But if they don't know, they really need to get in the business and find out why this is going on, because this is not okay. And I've been told a few other things, but I'll tell you this. If it takes my last breath, I am going to wait for my child, because I know one day she's going to come home. And I'm going to love her no matter what. And I pray for all of y'all that are going through this, how hard it is for mamas to go to sleep at night and not know what's happening to their children. You know, it's hard. I know it's hard. I worry about my baby girl. You know, even though I was a foster home, I know my home. I knew what kind of home I had. But you hear all these horror stories about these other foster homes you know nothing about. And my little boy, when, you know, he's had problems since he'd come home from day one. You know, and he would say, if he messed up his shirt or if he'd done something wrong, and he'd go, I'm sorry. And we'd tell him, baby, you don't have to be sorry. It's just an accident. And he'd done that for months, maybe 2 or 3 months, until he figured out he wasn't in trouble. You couldn't, you know, he would cry at night. He didn't want to sleep in his bed anymore. He's always walking around asking where his sissy is. When's she coming home, Mama? You know, they think that they didn't hurt nobody, but what they did was, it was just ridiculous and uncalled for. And that baby suffers just as much, if not more, than we do. He just can't tell us about it. And I don't believe for 1 minute that he was in a good foster home at all. They had him in the same foster home. They said, I don't know if she's still in that foster home. I pray to God she's not. But, you know, we went to a visitation with him, and he had a bruise across his forehead, one on each side of his cheek and one across the bridge of his nose, and a mark right here. And I took pictures of it. The next visit, they wouldn't let us use the cameras. They wouldn't. They said we could take pictures, but we couldn't take video or anything like that. And that's how I got the last pictures, because I stilled the video and I took the pictures. And she said, I said, how did that happen to him? She said, oh, he fell. Now, y'all, I'm no forensic specialist or anybody that knows how to tell how something happened. But I promise you, in my 55 years of life, I have never seen anybody get a bruise from a single fall on every side of their face simultaneously. And when I told the supervisor about it, she said, well, they said he fell. And I said, yeah, that ain't falling. I'm sorry. I got pictures, and I'm going to show them to the judge. And she said, well, can I have a copy? And I'm like, you can see them. I wasn't about to give her my copy of those pictures. And, you know, it's just, the whole situation is just wrong. And people need to wake up. You think this can't happen to you? It can. They can walk in your home, take your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. They can take your children. They can do what they think they can do what they want. But they use color of law, meaning they use their job and authority to do what they feel like doing. And they lie, and they change documents. They leave things out. They put things in. It is unbelievable what they do. So I'm asking y'all, please share the video, share my page. If you don't know what my page is DCFS Corruption Advocates. My name is Catherine Doyle. I got all my information on that page. If you need to talk to me, my phone number is on that page. If you need to email me, my email is on that page. Anything you tell me is between you and me, unless you give me permission to say anything else to anybody. So, please, share, like, whatever you need to do. But if you have a case that you feel is something that you can absolutely win and prove, please get in contact with me, because we are going to start this fundraiser, and we will get legal representation somehow. Thank you, and y'all have a good night.